What's on, everybody? It's Carmen from Barmine Tech, and today we're going to talk about setting up a Windows 11 virtual machine on Proxmox. So a couple things have changed since the last time we did it, so we're going to go over what changed, how to set it up, so let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to need is the Windows 11 ISO. So if we just search like Windows 11 download, you can see over here there's a get Windows 11 from Microsoft, there's a download link, and then over here you can just come over here and download it. If you scroll down, you're going to need the ISO, and then you can just select which one you want. So you're going to want Windows 11, and then there's going to be a couple questions, and you could get the ISO. This will be for an evaluation copy. It's not going to be a license, but if you do plan to use this, you should purchase a license or license it somehow. After that's done downloading, the next thing we're going to need to do is actually put that onto our Proxmox server. So what we can do is come over here to Proxmox. We can scroll down to whatever disk you store ISOs on. For me, it's going to be this local disk. I just need to upload my ISO to here. If you do get a download link, you can download from URL. I don't, so I'm just going to upload it. You can just open up this window, click select file, and then you can see over here is my ISOs, and here's 25H2. It's a pretty big ISO, so it's going to take a few minutes, so we'll be back when this is done. And, well, after a while, it'll finally finish. I ended up actually having to download mine from the site, and it's an 8 gig ISO, so it does take some time, but we're all done now. So now we can actually begin the process of actually setting up our Windows VM. One thing I do want to talk about before we actually start is going to be the system requirements. So if we do come over here, we're pretty much going to need at least 2 cores of a processor, at least 4 gigs of memory. That's a lie. You're going to need at least 6 to 8. For storage, it says 64. 64 will just barely cut it, so we're going to probably need about 100. And then you're also going to need a TPM and UEFI. I'll go over how to set all this up in Proxmox. If you want to put it a GPU, you could do that. We're not going to talk about GPU pass-through today. We don't need to worry about the display or anything else. We'll go over this a little bit later. One more thing that we do need to grab is the VirtIO drivers. So this is something from the virtualization community to how we can actually get Windows to have all the drivers it needs. So to get it, we're going to need to come down here to get the ISO for it. So on this page, if we just scroll down to VirtIO Win Releases, we can come over here to this Fedora People link. We'll be redirected, and over here, it's going to want to grab the most recent version. So it looks like over here, 2025 is the most recent version. You would just download this, and we would also upload this to your ISOs. And you can see that I actually already have one uploaded in here. So now we can actually start to build out our Windows 11 VM. So I'm just going to come up to the top right. I'm going to click Create VM. Over here, you can just put a name in for the VM. Whatever you want to name it, it's okay. I'm just going to click Next. And now over here is where we're actually going to mount the ISO image. So over here, I'm going to select my Windows 11 25H2 ISO. And now over here on Guest OS, we need to change type to Windows, and then we need to select the right version. So you can see over here, I already have 11, 22, and 25. So we're all good there. It does give us a checkbox for VirtIO drivers. We're going to check that off. Again, we're going to go into that same drive where our ISOs are, and we're going to select the VirtIO drivers. I'm going to click Next. Now over here is where we're going to get into some of the system setup. Over here, we can leave it at Q35. That's fine. UEFI is good, and then we need to select UEFI storage. Now over here on the right, we do need a TPM for Windows 11. So again, I'm going to select my storage, and we're going to click Next. Now I need to select a disk, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to give myself 100 gigs, so ideally I don't run out of space. We could always expand this later on down the road, so if you want to start smaller and then you can grow from there, that's fine. It's just easier to do that process because you can't really take away, unfortunately. We're going to click Next again. Now over here for CPU, I'm going to give it 4 cores. You could give it whatever you'd like. I would recommend at least 4 cores. And over here for type, this is what's really important. You need to scroll all the way down and select host. For some reason, when you virtualize Windows 11 on Proxmox, it just doesn't like any of the virtualized CPUs. So if you select host, it's going to be the best experience most likely. We're going to click Next. Over here, we can give it memory. We're going to need probably a lot of memory. I'm going to give myself 8 gigs because I have it to use, but you can use whatever you'd like, whether you want to do 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever you'd like. I'm going to click Next. Over here for networking, I'm not going to change anything. We're going to leave it as is. I'm going to click Next again. I'm going to click Finish. Now, it's created the machine over here, and I'm going to just select it, and there's a couple things that we want to double check. So we click on Options. I want to click on Boot Order. And we want to make sure that's going to boot from the ISO. So I'm just going to bump this up. And now you can see that I have the ISO as the first thing that's going to boot. So we can click OK. And then we should be pretty much all set from there. So now we can start this machine up. So I'm going to click start. And then I'm going to open up a console. Now, ideally, this should boot into the Windows installer. You might just need to click or hit something on your keyboard so it actually will prompt it. It's just similar to like a normal computer when you're trying to get into the BIOS or the boot menu. If it doesn't, then you can just close this out. You can stop the machine and make sure that for the boot order that your ISO installer is number 1. To stop it, you're going to actually probably need to come over here to stop because shutdown won't probably do it. And then you could just restart the machine. It's fine. There's nothing on there, so it won't break anything. Now we've reached the point where we can actually start the install. So you can just select your language and your info. I'm going to click next, set my keyboard. I'm going to install Windows 11. I agree. I'm going to click next. We're going to click I don't have a product key. We'll add this later. Now you can select the version of Windows you want. I'm going to do Pro. And now there's just the license agreement. I'm going to click accept. So for the Windows ISO, for the installer, it actually can't see the disks without the drivers. So we're going to click load driver. Now we'll bring us over here. We're going to click browse. We're going to go over to that vert.io. And you can scroll through. There's a bunch of stuff. I'm just going to come up here to AMD 64. I'm going to select Windows 11. Then we can click on it, and you can see over here it has the Red Hat vert.io SCSI pass-through. This will be how it actually will see the disk. We'll click install, and now you can see it sees our disk. So I can click next, and we'll click install. Now it's going to actually install Windows 11. It's going to take a couple minutes, so we'll be back when this is done. And after a few minutes, that window will go away, and it'll look like it'll reboot, and then it'll come back to this window where it's going to continue to install. So again, it's going to be a few more minutes, and then we'll go from there. So at this point, we're finally at the installer, so we can start going through the settings. So I'm going to select my country, click yes. I'll go to my US keyboard. I'm going to click next again. I don't need a second one, so we're going to skip that. Now at this point, it's going to want to connect to a network. I don't want to set up my Windows 11 box with a network because I need to add a Microsoft account. I just want to set this up with a local account. So if I hold the shift key and I hit F10, it's going to bring up a command prompt. So the old way to be able to do this was ubi/bypass NRO. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It seems that they changed a couple things. I was actually just looking into it because it used to be like a whole different string of commands you had to do to bypass it, but now it looks like the ubi bypass NRO is working again. If not, you can just Google for the other commands. It's just set up Windows 11 without internet, and it will give you the command over here and then the steps. After a minute or so, it'll reboot and we'll go back into the setup and we can continue on with the install. You can see we're brought back into the setup, and we just got to select our country again. Our keyboard layout, I'm going to skip this again because I don't need a second keyboard. And now over here you can see we have the I don't have internet option. So this lets us actually finish setting up Windows without internet and not needing a Microsoft account. Now we can say who's going to be using this. I'm not going to enter a password, but if you want one, you can enter it here. So I'm going to click next. And I just usually turn all these off. You could always turn them back on or adjust them if you need, or if you want them, you can keep them on. Click accept. And now pretty much it should be almost done with Windows. At this point, it's going to finish the last of its setup, and then it should actually boot us into Windows. And then there's only a couple more steps, and we're all set to actually start using this Windows 11 machine. All right, then finally it will boot you into Windows, and you can see you actually have your desktop. There's still a couple more things we need to do. So first you can see there's no internet, and this is because there's no driver. So what you can do is you can come over here and you can right click on the Windows icon, come up to Device Manager, and now we just need to add the rest of those vert.io drivers. So you can see over here under other devices, the Ethernet controller has a caution sign. It's because there's no driver for the Ethernet controller or the NIC. So we can right click on this and we can update driver. We can browse our computer because we actually already have it from the vert.io drivers. And if we come down to NetKVM and scroll down a little bit more and select Windows 11, AMD 64, then we'll have that. So now we can actually install those drivers. And you can see here's the Ethernet adapter. Hit close, and now you can see we actually have internet access. Now, we're still going to be missing other drivers, but to get around that, we can actually just come over here to settings, and then do a Windows update, and it'll pull the rest of the drivers for us. So it says we're up to date, but if I check for updates, it's going to have a bunch that we're missing. We have a relatively new ISO, so we shouldn't be too many updates behind, but it'll still be a couple updates to grab, and then it'll also grab all the drivers. You can see it refreshed, and you can see that there is a couple drivers, and then just some regular security updates and Windows updates. I'm going to let this run so we can minimize this. At this point, you have pretty much a working Windows 11 machine. If you plan to RDP into it, one thing you will need to do is turn on RDP. So you'll just need to come over to remote desktop settings, and you'll actually need to turn that on over here, and it'll just make sure, hey, do you want to do it? You're going to click yes. Now you can actually RDP over to it. You could either use the host name, or if you want, you can get the IP address. You just come over here, open up a command prompt, ipconfig, and there would be your IP address. So now you could RDP into this machine. But other than that, you're pretty much all set. I'm going to close this out. The one thing that you do probably want to do is come back over here to the boot order in the VM. So you want to make sure that the ISO is no longer the boot disk and that your hard drive where it's actually installed is. So over here in boot order, all you want to do is just make sure that you're not actually booting from the CD anymore, that you're actually booting from the media. So you can see over here it still has the ISO as my boot media. So you can actually uncheck that. And we can either rearrange it or we'll just kind of click OK. And this will refresh after a reboot. If you want, you could also pull the ISOs out now, so you can unmount them because we already have it, so we can remove it here. And we could also remove this here. And then after this reboots, everything will be all good, and we'll have a machine that's working. But this is how we set up Windows 11 on Proxmox. So Windows in general is one of the most annoying systems to virtualize on Proxmox. For whatever reason, it's just how it is. Linux-based systems are more friendly to virtualize to start. It's not impossible to virtualize Windows. Sometimes there's just a headache. If you've ran into any issues while you're trying to set yours up, just run through this video again and make sure you followed all the steps, and yours should work just fine. Like I said, there were a couple changes that got made to Windows throughout the year. So in the beginning, when I did that bypass NRO to get so I don't have a network connection, so I could do a local account, that's so I just have a local account. So if I'm working in my lab environment or whatever, I don't need to register it with a Microsoft account, because it's tedious to continuously do that over and over again. If the bypass NRO method doesn't work, just Google for the other one. It's like a command that you just need to run, and it puts in a registry key to bypass it. But it looks like this is the latest installer, and the ubi/bypass NRO does work. But this is how we would set up a Windows 11 VM in 2026 on Proxmox. As always, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and as my buddy Don would say, hack till it hurts.